So today's video is entitled, I Feel Like Crap Emotionally. What do I do? Fun, right? Alright, so today's video is about when you don't feel good emotionally. When you are going through some turmoil, you are going through some emotional struggle, there's something going on around you that you have no idea how to handle, and you just feel terrible. You feel sad, you feel lost, you feel stuck, you feel depressed, just short-term depression, but you feel just like you just don't know what to do and you're just sad. So the number one thing that you can do about this is something that absolutely no one likes to do, but it's the only thing that actually helps, and that is to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. So, if you feel like emotional crap and all these things are going on, there is something for you to learn and clear. So that is the time to start asking yourself questions. And if you are busy and you don't have time to sit down and really have the space to have a conversation with yourself, have a conversation with your higher power, journal, meditate, any of that, then promise yourself that you will sit down and do that as soon as you have the time to do it. Make an appointment with yourself, sit down, and do any one of those things. I've mentioned this in a lot of my other videos and books and things. One of the things I like to do is similar to what's automatic writing. So I will get out my notebook and I will talk to my higher power or my higher self, and I will just write questions in my notebook, and then I will automatically answer them, kind of just let my pen and my hand go without thinking about it, without bringing my mind or logic in, and I will just sort of energetically let the pen guide the words. So, and then you can do what I always call getting underneath. So you want to get under that and under that and under that. Well, what's under that? Keep asking questions. What's under that? What's under that? So sit down and ask yourself some questions when something's bugging you. Why am I angry about whatever? Why am I upset with whomever? And just let, again, your gut, let your higher power speak to you and see what the answer is, because most likely the answer is not going to be something you're expecting. A lot of times it's something that seems very random, but it connects to why you feel that way. This happens to me all the time. I'll ask, why do I feel like whatever? Well, it's because of this thing that seemingly has absolutely nothing to do with it. And so at first I'll be like, what? And then I'll say, as far as keep going, what's under that? What does that have to do with this? And then I'll get an answer there. Okay, I still don't quite understand what does that have to do with this. And so I'll just keep going under and under until it makes sense. And what I usually find out is that there's a concept underneath it that I am either have a wound from, or it's not about a certain thing that I have a wound from. It's about whatever the core wound was from that specific detail, or a way that I am thinking about something or treating myself or something I'm afraid of, all different things. But when you have that happen, it's time to start doing some discovery. Now, it's not always time to start picking at yourself. Sometimes when you're uncomfortable, you just need to be uncomfortable. And you can deal with it by reminding yourself, first of all, it's not always going to be like that. Second of all, that sometimes the only way on the other side is to go through. You can't go around. You got to go through. So you're like, well, if I go through it now, I won't have to repeat it 20 times later in 20 different details that look like something else because I didn't deal with it now. Or I didn't let myself feel it. So you can just kind of say to yourself, well, this sucks. Or if you're talking to somebody else, which I highly recommend you deal with as much as you can on your own before you ask somebody else to hold that space for you, because you don't want it to be too heavy on them. You want to only talk to somebody else about it when you've worked with a lot of it yourself and you're just bouncing ideas off of them. And I can get into that later. But if you are having an issue with somebody else and you're having a hard time resolving it, maybe with a partner, a spouse, a friend, and you just can't get to the other side of it, or there's something that you both are doing to help grow and it's not fun, you can just sort of say to each other, well, this sucks. And then you usually at least can laugh a little bit and it'll take the edge off. But maybe you both know that you're doing something for a better outcome. And so it may be uncomfortable while you're doing it, but it's for a good reason. And you'll ultimately benefit from going through that. So again, what happens most often is when we feel like emotional crap, we want to solve it. We want to fix, save, and solve it. So, we try to run from it. We try to medicate it with food or, whatever else, shopping, alcohol, work, whatever people choose to try to medicate it with. But really, it's your spirit telling you, hey, there's something buried here that, either you need to take a look at or it's just too hot right now to even look at. But don't try to run away from it. Just allow it, even though you feel like crap. And like I said, just try to just acknowledge it, because it's not going to try and get you as much if you at least acknowledge it. Like, hey, this sucks, or this isn't very fun, but I'm willing to do it to get through to the other side, but not having a good time here, or like, hey, fear, I feel ya, I see ya, that's cool. We're not really going to play that anymore, but I acknowledge you. Another tool you can use here is something I call fear sitting. So you can sit in a chair for a couple minutes, 2 minutes is all I give it, and you can allow those feelings to wash over you. So you can sit in a chair, close your eyes and say, all right, fear, totally have your way with me, just go for it. And just allow yourself to feel that emotion. And the first 30 seconds is going to be horrible, because it's going to actually listen to you and overwhelm your being. But after 30 seconds, it's going to start to dissipate because you gave it your attention, and it's not going to, have much fun with you anymore. So it will start to dissipate. And by the end of that 2 minutes, you're going to feel a lot better. Now, I'm not saying that everything is going to completely change and you'll be in a completely wonderful, positive, everything is amazing and rosy and the sun came out mood, but you will definitely have taken the edge off. So again, when we feel like emotional crap, it's not one of the super fun parts of life, but we will be that much more peaceful, that much more centered, that much happier overall when we can allow ourselves to go through it and just become comfortable with being uncomfortable. So I know that doesn't sound good, but try it and let me know how you're doing with it. Good luck.